Adapted from archaic translation by Robert Chalmers. JATAKA number 77. Mahesupana JATAKA. Bulls first, and trees. This story was told by the master while at Jetavana monastery about 16 wonderful dreams. For in the last watch of one night the king of Kosala, who had been asleep all the night, dreamed 16 great dreams, and woke up in great fright and alarm as to what they might portend for him. So strong was the fear of death upon him that he could not stir, but lay there huddled up on his bed. Now, when the night grew light, his Brahmins and priests came to him and with due reverence asked whether his majesty had slept well. "How could I sleep well, my advisers?" answered the king. "For just at daybreak I dreamed 16 wonderful dreams, and I have been in terror ever since. Tell me, my advisers, what it all means. We shall be able to judge, on hearing them." Then the king told them his dreams, and asked what those visions would lead to for him. The Brahmins fell in wringing their hands. "Why wring your hands, Brahmins?" asked the king. "Because, sire, these are evil dreams." "What will come of them?" said the king. "One of 3 calamities, harm to your kingdom, to your life, or to your riches. Is there a remedy, or is there not?" Undoubtedly these dreams in themselves are so threatening as to be without remedy. But none the less we will find a remedy for them. Otherwise, what boots our much study and learning? What then do you propose to do to stop the evil? Wherever 4 roads meet, we would offer sacrifice, sire. "My advisers," cried the king in his terror, "my life is in your hands. Make haste and work my safety. Large sums of money, and large supplies of food of every kind will be ours," thought the exultant Brahmins. And, asking the king have no fear, they departed from the palace. Outside the town they dug a sacrificial pit and collected an assemblage of 4-footed creatures, perfect and without blemish, and many birds. But still they discovered something lacking, and back they kept coming to the king to ask for this, that and the other. Now their doings were watched by Queen Malika, who came to the king and asked what made these Brahmins keep coming to him. "I envy you," said the king. "A snake in your ear, and you not to know of it. What does your majesty mean?" "I have dreamed, oh such unlucky dreams. The Brahmins tell me they point to one of 3 calamities. And they are anxious to offer sacrifices to stop the evil. And this is what brings them here so often. But has your majesty consulted the chief Brahmin both of this world and of the world of Devas? Who, I ask, may he be, my dear?" asked the king. "Know you not that highest personage of all the world, the all-knowing and pure, the spotless master Brahmin? Surely, he, the Lord Buddha, will understand your dreams. Go, ask him." "And so I will, my queen," said the king. And away he went to the monastery, saluted the master, and sat down. "What, I ask, brings your majesty here so early in the morning?" asked the master in his sweet tones. "Sir," said the king, "just before daybreak I dreamed 16 wonderful dreams, which so terrified me that I told them to the Brahmins. They told me that my dreams predicted evil, and that to stop the threatened calamity they must offer sacrifice wherever 4 roads met. And so they are busy with their preparations, and many living creatures have the fear of death before their eyes. But I ask you, who are the highest personage in the world of men and devas? You into whose sight comes all possible knowledge of things past and present and to be, I ask you to tell me what will come of my dreams, O Lord Buddha. True it is, sire, that there is none other except me, who can tell what your dreams signify or what will come of them. I will tell you. Only first of all tell me your dreams as they appeared to you." "I will, sir," said the king, and at once began this list, following the order of the dream's appearance. Bulls first, and trees, and cows, and calves. Horse, dish, she-jackal, water-pot. A pond, Rhys, and sandalwood. And gourds that sank, and stones that swam, with frogs that gobbled up black snakes, a crow with bright color-plumed group of attendants, and wolves in panic fear of goats. How was it, sir, that I had the following one of my dreams? I think, 4 black bulls, like collyrium deep black in color, came from the 4 cardinal directions to the royal courtyard with avowed intent to fight. And people flocked together to see the bull fight, till a great crowd had gathered. But the bulls only made a show of fighting, roared and bellowed, and finally went off without fighting at all. This was my first dream. What will come of it? Sire, that dream shall have no issue in your days or in mine. But hereafter, when kings shall be miserly and unrighteous, and when folk shall be unrighteous, in days when the world is perverted, when good is waning and evil growing at a fast pace, in those days of the world's backsliding there shall fall no rain from the heavens, the feet of the storm shall be lamed, the crops shall wither, and famine shall be on the land. Then shall the clouds gather as if for rain from the 4 quarters of the heavens. There shall be haste first to carry indoors the rice and crops that the women have spread in the sun to dry, for fear the harvest should get wet. And then with spade and basket in hand the men shall go on to bank up the dikes, as though in sign of coming rain. The thunder shall bellow, the lightning shall flash from the clouds, but even as the bulls in your dream, that fought not, so the clouds shall flee away without raining. This is what shall come of this dream. But no harm shall come from that to you. For it was with regard to the future that you dreamed this dream. What the Brahmins told you, was said only to get themselves a livelihood. And when the master had thus told the fulfillment of this dream, he said, "Tell me your second dream, sire." "Sir," said the king, "my second dream was after this manner. I think little tiny trees and shrubs burst through the soil, and when they had grown scarce a span or 2 high, they flowered and had fruit. This was my second dream. What shall come of it?" "Sire," said the master, "this dream shall have its fulfillment in days when the world has fallen into decay and when men are short-lived. In times to come the passions shall be strong. Quite young girls shall go to live with men, and it shall be with them after the manner of women, they shall conceive and bear children. The flowers typify their issues, and the fruit their offspring. But you, sire, have nothing to fear from that. Tell me your third dream, O great king." "I think, sir, I saw cows sucking the milk of calves which they had borne that same day. This was my third dream. What shall come of it?" "This dream too shall have its fulfillment only in days to come, when respect shall cease to be paid to age. For in the future men, showing no reverence for parents or parents-in-law, shall themselves administer the family estate, and, if such be their good will, shall give food and clothing to the old folks, but shall withhold their gifts, if it be not their will to give. Then shall the old folks, destitute and dependent, exist by favor of their own children, like big cows suckled by calves a day old. But you have nothing to fear from that. Tell me your fourth dream." "I think, sir, I saw men unyoking a team of oxen, sturdy and strong, and setting young steers to pull the load. And the steers, proving unequal to the task laid on them, refused and stood stock still, so that wains moved not on their way. This was my fourth dream. What shall come of it?" Here again the dream shall not have its fulfillment until the future, in the days of unrighteous kings. For in days to come, unrighteous and miserly kings shall show no honor to wise lords skilled in precedent, ready to act in many ways, and able to get through business. Nor shall appoint to the courts of law and justice aged counselors of wisdom and of learning in the law. No, they shall honor the very young and foolish, and appoint such to preside in the courts. And these latter, ignorant alike of statecraft and of practical knowledge, shall not be able to bear the burden of their honors or to govern, but because of their incompetence shall throw off the yoke of office. On which the aged and wise lords, though right able to cope with all difficulties, shall keep in mind how they were passed over, and shall decline to aid, saying, "Dash, it is no business of ours. We are outsiders. Let the boys of the inner circle see to it." Hence they shall stand aloof, and ruin shall assail those kings on every hand. It shall be even as when the yoke was laid on the young steers, who were not strong enough for the burden, and not upon the team of sturdy and strong oxen, who alone were able to do the work. However, you have nothing to fear from that. Tell me your fifth dream. I think, sir, I saw a horse with a mouth on either side, to which fodder was given on both sides, and it ate with both its mouths. This was my fifth dream. What shall come of it? This dream too shall have its fulfillment only in the future, in the days of unrighteous and foolish kings, who shall appoint unrighteous and greedy men to be judges. These low ones, fools, despising the good, shall take bribes from both sides as they sit in the seat of judgment, and shall be filled with this 2 times corruption, even as the horse that ate fodder with 2 mouths at once. However, you have nothing to fear from that. Tell me your sixth dream. I think, sir, I saw people holding out a well-scoured golden bowl worth 100,000 pieces, and begging an old jackal to excrete in that. And I saw the beast do so. This was my sixth dream. What shall come of it? This dream too shall only have its fulfillment in the future. For in the days to come, unrighteous kings, though came from a race of kings, mistrusting the scions of their old nobility, shall not honor them, but exalt in their stead the lowborn. By which the nobles shall be brought low and the lowborn raised to lordship. Then shall the great families be brought by very need to seek to live by dependence on those risen fast by wrongdoing, and shall offer them their daughters in marriage. And the union of the noble girls with the lowborn shall be like unto the excreta of the old jackal in the golden bowl. However, you have nothing to fear from that. Tell me your seventh dream. A man was weaving rope, sir, and as he wove, he threw it down at his feet. Under his bench lay a hungry she-jackal, which kept eating the rope as he wove, but without the man knowing it. This is what I saw. This was my seventh dream. What shall come of it? This dream too shall not have its fulfillment till the future. For in days to come, women shall lust after men and strong drink and finery and gadding abroad and after the joys of this world. In their wickedness and profligacy these women shall drink strong drink with their paramours. They shall flaunt in garlands and perfumes and ointments. And regardless of even the most pressing of their household duties, they shall keep watching for their paramours, even at crevices high up in the outer wall. Yes, they shall pound up the very seed corn that should be sown on the next day so as to provide good cheer. In all these ways shall they plunder the store won by the hard work of their husbands in field and byre, devouring the poor men's substance even as the hungry jackal under the bench ate up the rope of the rope maker as he wove it. However, you have nothing to fear from that. Tell me your eighth dream. I think, sir, I saw at a palace gate a big pitcher which was full to the brim and stood amid a number of empty ones. And from the 4 cardinal points, and from the 4 intermediate points as well, there kept coming a constant stream of people of all the 4 castes, carrying water in pipkins and pouring it into the full pitcher. And the water overflowed and ran away. But nonetheless they still kept on pouring more and more water into the overflowing vessel, without a single man giving so much as a glance at the empty pitchers. This was my eighth dream. What shall come of it? This dream too shall not have its fulfillment until the future. For in days to come the world shall decay. The kingdom shall grow weak, its kings shall grow poor and miserly. The foremost among them shall have no more than pieces of money in his treasury. Then shall these kings in their need set the whole of the country folk to work for them. For the king's sake shall the toiling folk, leaving their own work, sow grain, and pulse, and keep watch and reap and thresh and garner. For the king's sake shall they plant sugar canes, make and drive sugar mills, and boil down the molasses. For the king's sake shall they lay out flower gardens and orchards, and gather in the fruits. and as they gather in all the many kinds of produce they shall fill the royal garners to overflowing, not giving so much as a glance at their own empty barns at home. Thus it shall be like filling up the full pitcher, regardless of the quite empty ones. However, you have nothing to fear from that. Tell me your ninth dream. I think, sir, I saw a deep pool with shelving banks all round and overgrown with the 5 kinds of lotuses. From every side 2-footed creatures and 4-footed creatures flocked there to drink of its waters. The depths in the middle were muddy, but the water was clear and sparkling at the margin where the various creatures went down into the pool. This was my ninth dream. What shall come of it? This dream too shall not have its fulfillment till the future. For in days to come kings shall grow unrighteous. They shall rule after their own will and desires, and shall not execute judgment according to righteousness. These kings shall hunger after riches and become fat on bribes. They shall not show mercy, love and compassion toward their people, but be fierce and cruel, amassing wealth by crushing their subjects like sugar canes in a mill and by taxing them even to the uttermost small coin. Unable to pay the oppressive tax, the people shall fly from village and town and the like, and take refuge upon the borders of the realm. The heart of the land shall be a wilderness, while the